Hey guys, it's Luke Deckard, founder of Back9 PT and Performance. What I want to talk to you about today is the shoulder joint and some exercises that are my favorites for work on stability here. This is an area I commonly see golfers come in with pain, and honestly it can be from something that even happened away from the course. But there's just something we have to continue to address, and a lot of times what I see overlooked is working on the rotator cuff itself and the scapular muscles that help stabilize this. So we're going to go over a few of my favorites and go over how to do them, what different variations we can have, and I really think it's going to be something that's going to help your game and help take care of that aching, kind of nagging shoulder pain. But we also need to remember, if we're having this shoulder pain, there are likely some other underlying causes, which could be thoracic mobility or hip mobility. So make sure you've checked those out, do the assessments, because you may need to be working on that mobility as well to kind of help take the strain off the shoulder and get away from some of those swing characteristics that are upper body dominant. Now, one of the exercises I want to go over today are a couple different variations with kettlebells. They're a great way to train stability and something I love to use with all my players. So one thing we can do is just pop this sucker up here. I call these 90-90 carries. So for us, 90 degrees here at the shoulder, 90 at the elbow, and I like doing the bottom up because now it gets more wobbly. So with this, we could walk around. We can even do, a lot of people do more dynamic movements like lunges. So sometimes I get my players to do walking lunges that way, or even side ones. Just challenge the full body to move. We can also pop it straight up and do what I like to call a Statue of Liberty carry. So now, arm is kind of having to work and stabilize more through the whole shoulder blade itself as I keep that up there. So again, you could walk around, you can do lunges. It doesn't necessarily matter, but I do like to incorporate full body movements if we're able. So another thing we can do, even with the kettlebell, is just pop into a half kneeling position. Again, go bottom up, and then just work on some presses. Here, you can keep it there and even just do some shoulder, kind of like abduction and adduction. Just see how we can challenge the stability of the rotator cuff and those scapular muscles with that kettlebell. So this is a great exercise. Try to incorporate these into some of your movements to really help that shoulder kind of lock in. Now for this exercise, we're going to use a band that I have anchored to the wall. So again, we're going to be working on rotator cuff and scapular stability. I call these the external rotation to 90-90 lift with body turn. You can even add it on reverse lunge as we progress. So we're going to stand here kind of away from the wall. We're going to rotate out, just doing that sideline or like external rotation with your arm at the side. Then we're going to do a punch up to the ceiling. As you can see here again, kind of 90-90 position. I'm just trying to maintain that, not letting it pull my arm in. So keeping it here. Then the last move I like to do is rotate that body out so that I'm fully kind of across here. And again, not trying to let my arm fall in. So maintain that, then I control and walk it back in. So it's going to look just like this if we're moving kind of quicker. Usually I like to do 6 to 8 reps. Lock that in. Definitely can do these on both sides. If you get really good at it, we can even add in a lunge with it. Again, it just makes it more full body movement and kind of requires more control. If you definitely do these, you'll feel a burn, and that's going to get that teres minor a little bit more than just some of the bigger external rotators when we're down here by our side. And it's going to be more applicable to the position your arm needs to be in for the golf swing. As we continue to work on our shoulder stability exercises, we're going to use a band here again, kind of moderate resistance, moderate to light here to start, because I want you to focus on form. Again, we're going to face kind of just away from the wall, so definitely not towards it. Arm's going to be straight this time, and I like to have my head and everything straight, and all I'm going to do is try to pull straight across my body and then slowly control it back in. So obviously step farther away to get more resistance, but just pull straight across. Here we're going to be targeting that middle trap. So it's really good, especially for, I'm a right-handed golfer, so this is my lead side, to really work that middle trap, which is going to fall through here and help stabilize that shoulder blade against the thoracic spine or rib cage. You may commonly see in some of your players or even on yourself, if you have a lot of winging, generally if it's pure just scapular winging, that's going to come from weakness in the middle trap if there's not some other neurologic thing going on, but generally from that. If you see tipping, that's going to be from the lower trap. So there's other things we can do to work on that, and even some of the carries we mentioned earlier can help. So again, just straight across here, I like to be in kind of an athletic stance, pull across, really going to get that middle trap. You can also get into a golf posture and work on just pulling down and across as well. And that's going to get a little of that middle and lower trap as we're trying to get to that impact position and strengthen those scapular muscles for the golf swing.